Hello, welcome all of you once again to the aftermarket analysis session at 5 p.m. every day. This is a live session, sorry. This aftermarket analysis session is meant for the Indian market. In this live session, after the closing of Nifty and Bank Nifty, we look at where the buyers showed interest, where the sellers showed interest, and we try to read the footprints of Nifty and Bank Nifty thoroughly. We also look at volume profiles and footprints. If you are new and want to learn order flow or want to learn how to use gold charting effectively, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. The link for this live session is uploaded in the Gold Charting Discord Telegram community before 5 p.m. and you can see this notification here. As soon as you click on it, it will open and you can join directly from the terminal where the footprints are shown on GoCharting every day. It is also uploaded here before 5 p.m. So GoCharting is gradually opening its YouTube channel in every language. If you want to watch in Hindi, Spanish, or English, GoCharting is launching its YouTube channel in almost every language. The links to all of those YouTube channels, plus the community links, are provided in the description, and you can join them there. So now let's see how Nifty and Bank Nifty have given us confirmations today. Where and what confirmations were given. Okay, before that, let's take a look at the volume profile to see what confirmations it provided us. Every evening after the live session, we also learned to mark levels according to the volume profile. These are marked from yesterday's levels. We marked them in front of all of you from a simple zone. Okay, this was a consolidation zone from the last 2 to 3 days, and its POC, point of control, zone was here. Plus, this was also the POC zone, and this was POC zone 1, and the second POC zone means the market stayed here for quite some time, moving sideways. So, a value area low was formed here. If a breakout came from this range, the next support zone we had was this, which was the POC zone, and there was also a volume node here. So, the combined volume profile gave us this confirmation. The same combination of these two POC zones was given by the volume profile here. So, we mark this, and we mark the latest ones. The latest were the value area high, value area low, then below that were these. Below that were these, and below that were these. So, we mark all of them, and the good thing is that Nifty kept moving within these ranges. Okay, now let's see what confirmation the footprint gave us on these levels. What confirmation the order flow gave us. Let's take an overview. It was a bullish market today, a bullish movement overall. So if it's a bullish movement, what should happen? Simply, there should be buyers. A good number of buyers came in, and the order flow gave a good confirmation. Now, let's see how we can predict with this bullish movement. How we can predict, meaning how we could see on the order flow where the buyer center was, where the seller center was. And in this bullish movement, the footprint gave us quite good confirmation. Now, let's move to the footprint. I am using a tick size of 180 for Nifty, doing everything around 180 in Nifty's tick size. Okay, so before reading the footprint, we should know. Again, this is explained every day because it helps the new beginners a lot. To read the footprint well, we need to know what delta is, because with the help of delta, we will be able to predict the footprint quite accurately. Here. Now, what is this delta? It is called the difference between buyers and sellers. Delta means we call the difference between buyers and sellers. Delta. For example, let's take the first candle of today's Nifty. What is its delta? The topmost value. Okay, what is its delta? 1 is in the red box, with a negative sign on top here. So it means its delta is around negative 51, negative 51,000 approximately. K means 3 zeros. And 2 means negative delta always denotes sellers. meaning there are more sellers in this candle compared to buyers. And how many more sellers are there? Around 50,000. Negative delta denotes sellers, and whatever its value is, there will be that many more sellers in that particular candle. Let's take the third candle. What we have here is a positive delta. Okay, so a positive delta always denotes buyers. Like here, it's around 39K, meaning a value of around 40,000. Okay, so this means a positive delta will denote buyers, indicating there are more buyers in this candle compared to sellers. And how many more buyers are there? Around 40,000 more buyers. It's simple. Any candle with a negative delta and its value indicates that much more selling activity occurred within that candle. Any candle with a positive delta and the value of that positive delta indicates that much more buying occurred within that candle. Simply put, this is what delta tells us. Okay, so you might be seeing that there are some candles with a very low delta, like 5,000 or 11,000, and we're talking about both positive and negative together. And there are some candles with a very heavy delta, like 51,000, again 40,000, again 30,000. And then there are some candles with just 11,000, 5,000, 4,000, 8,000, 10,000, again 1,000. This means that candles with a heavier delta indicate where heavy buyers are active and where heavy sellers are active. For example, any candle with a significantly heavy negative delta indicates that there are a lot of sellers within that candle. Conversely, any candle with a positive delta suggests that there are a lot of buyers within that candle. And candles with a very low delta, like just 11,000, 5,000, or 4,000, mean that there are very few active buyers and sellers within those candles. So, candles with a heavy delta have experienced heavy buying and selling, heavy transactions, which is why they have a heavy delta. On the other hand, candles with very low data have not seen any solid buying or selling. Therefore, candles with a heavy delta have experienced solid buying and selling, and those candles tend to clarify the market direction because of the significant buying and selling within them. Candles with minimal buying and selling do not clarify the market direction. So, what we'll do is pick candles with a heavy delta, those with a delta above 30,000, whether on the positive or negative side. You can skip the first candle if you want, but trade very cautiously because the first candle's delta is always very high. This data is visible in the live market as well. Now, the first candle again has a delta above 30,000, around 50,000. What is more in this candle? More selling. So, on the left side is the selling side, and on the right side is the buyer's side. So, what is more in this candle? More selling. So, quickly look at the selling side and identify the particular point where the most selling occurs. Okay, sir, I have added cumulative delta, but I am not explaining its use right now. We consider the delta of each candle individually. Cumulative delta provides an overview. So if you look at each candle, it is so much. It is better than the cumulative delta. If you consider the delta of each candle, it's because the cumulative delta is formed from the delta zone. Okay, the negative delta is above 30,000. Here, what we'll do is look at the seller's value and identify the particular point where the most selling occurred. Because that's the zone that caused us to see such a high negative delta. There was selling of 100 at 9K, and this selling happened around 80K. Like how you observe the selling zone. This is the selling side. On the selling side, where did the most selling occur? Where is the selling of 100 at 9K, and around 100 at 9K, at 9K, and 79K? Meaning this is the zone where a lot of selling happened, within the first candle. Again, in the first candle, it remains like this. Wait for 12 candles. Again, there was selling in this candle, but not above 30,000. The selling delta is there, which is a good thing, because buyers are not active, but it's not a large selling. Look at what happened in the next candle. This candle broke all the selling zones from the first candle's selling zones. Now, selling has occurred. As long as the market does not go above the selling zone, there are chances that the market will remain bearish somewhere. Because this is the place for sellers, where they have done the selling, so this zone will be respected. It is quite difficult for the market to become bullish if this zone is broken. So that means all the selling zones that were created in the market by the big players through selling have now been broken. Now the market's direction is somewhat bullish. Again, we observed a buying activity here as well. Again, a positive delta of 39, but the issue with this candle was that there wasn't a particular spot where significant buying occurred, where substantial buyers entered and broke all the selling zones. And now the selling zones have been broken. That means the market's direction has become somewhat bullish. Again, the next candle had a delta of 30. But within this candle, one solid thing was observed, a buying activity of 132. Exactly at the point where the selling zone was broken. In the next candle, the market gave an indication of being bullish. Again, in the next candle, another buying activity was observed within this candle, which created resistance at the same support zone with selling. This resistance was broken by the buying activity, and now this has created a support zone. There was also significant buying activity here, so we can delete this because around this line here, the order flow gave us confirmation of where the next resistance is. It held up to here. Some selling activity occurred, but it is much less than 30. Again, selling went on, and the market, Nifty, held that same buying zone. A resistance was created from the initial selling zone, and this same zone created and held a support. Again, it held in the next candle. Now here, the sellers completely left, and a positive delta was found. Again, in the next candle, there was another big buying, and once more, a pull was set at this same zone. If we also look at the buying zone of this candle, the buying of T7 also happened here. Again, the delta above 30 first gave confirmation that a selling zone was created. In the first candle, look at this. It broke the selling zone for 20 minutes, and the market remained stuck here for 20 minutes. Plus, in the first two candles, there was a significant interest in buying, and the next two candles kept tapping the same zone repeatedly for bullishness. Again, there should have been a bullish move from here, breaking resistance and creating support, and in the 9:45 candle, another buying was observed. This is the same buy zone where it held. Again, pulled back for 15 to 20 minutes, and slowly, Nifty went up. Again, pulled back and went up. Again. There were some candles where, again, we were discussing a delta above 30, and here we saw a delta of 41. There was also a buying of 56, but that buying broke. Okay, so this buying didn't have as much impact as, for example, here where the buying occurred. This buying zone didn't break downward and was tapped multiple times here. In the next candles, the chances of this buying zone performing were quite high, but that scenario wasn't seen here. So, this is the same buying zone that is going to work again, right from here, wherever the pullback happened. And again, an upside movement was observed. Today, we saw the biggest delta in Nifty. What was that delta? Was it on the 79 side or the wine side? Again, there was buying at 56. Okay, now look at this. Look at this candle. Its delta is around 30K. But if we look at the buying side, like here, we got a candle delta around 80K. The biggest buying was at 56. But in the next candle, look, the delta is around 30K, and there was another big buying here. Buying at 50, and buying at 21, was 77. Meaning, look at this, buying at 56 and buying at 16, buying at 26, but what happened here? The biggest buying was at 58, and along with that, there was buying at 21. Meaning, These are the buying zones that were created. Like these are the buying zones that were created. But here there's a bit of a twist, that during the pullback, these buying zones did not hold. Meaning, this buying activity was absorbed somewhere. A clear absorption was not there because the buying happened within 2 candles. If the buying had occurred within just 1 candle, like you wouldn't see the positive delta of this candle. Only the buying of this candle would remain. So, a clear symbol of buying absorption was seen here, but the buying happened within 2 candles and has been continuing from the start. Okay, it gave a slight sign as soon as this buying zone broke here. This is the place where bearishness can come in. A little bit of buying absorption was seen, but again, pullbacks happened above the buying zones, got stuck there, and once again, an upside movement was observed. After that, there was no sign of selling anywhere. Selling was seen within 1 candle. This was the selling activity at 38, but still, it was observed that whenever there is an uptrend, we often see selling at these levels. So, it doesn't mean that the entire market turned bearish. It could be that there were more limit buyers here who entered their positions through buying. The same thing happened. As soon as the selling occurred, a reversal came from here. Okay, and beyond that, there wasn't any significant delta observed. So if we look at a clear overview of Nifty today, the most important zone was the first candle, where the most transactions occurred. Okay, selling happened here, and there was also a support zone that was broken during the selling. In the very next candle, meaning 1 candle held, and in the very next candle, buyers entered and broke the resistance created by the selling zone. Once a resistance is broken, it means it will act as a support, and the good confirmation was that it broke with buying. The next candle gave an even more solid confirmation. What confirmation did it give? We saw buying from here to here. The next 2 candles pulled back without any significant selling interest. In one upside movement, the direction turned upwards. The market entered an uptrend with buying. This was the zone where we saw another buying opportunity ahead. There was a significant hold here as well, with buying occurring here too, but it didn't create enough of a support zone, leading to another pullback, and then a sideways movement. This was the zone where a slight pull of buying rejection was observed, but during the pullback, as long as these are buying zones, it is hard to predict any downtrend. Continuous buying was happening everywhere in Nifty, and again, the pullback led to another upside movement. Now let's look at Bank Nifty to see what was observed today and where. Bank Nifty was quite simple. The volume of Bank Nifty is gradually disappearing, but the sheer loader flow gives good confirmation. Here again, in the first 2 candles, there was selling. Okay, look, there was selling of 24K and 14K. But there was selling of 22K here. Look at the print. And in the next candle, see, there was selling of 30K and 26K. It means that even though the delta is higher, there has been more selling here. Okay, look at this. The minimum delta is giving us this confirmation that there was selling around 30K here. But as the handle was closing, the buyers took over, meaning the sellers were in control. Then the buyers took over. So, what happened to all this selling here? It didn't break to the downside, so it broke to the opposite side. That means this selling was absorbed here. A slight pullback buying happened nicely. It held this zone. And look at this. A continuous slight uptrend was also observed. Now look. Around 115, a positive delta was also observed. And what happened after this buying? Again, the buying zones broke to the downside, which means this buying was also absorbed here. And throughout the day, Bank Nifty took clear rejections from here, rejections from the buying options, rejections from the selling options, and came back on the pullback. the day Bank Nifty stayed in this. So this was today's quick analysis video of Nifty and Bank Nifty. Okay, this video will be uploaded to the YouTube channel shortly before nightfall. Please like it. If you have any questions, please comment. Okay, and you will also find links to all other channels in the description of this video. Okay, thank you.